This one looks really good. It's just a couple things holding it back, I think, from being a gem. Front looks great. Fortunately, no scratches or nothing like that, so the front looks sharp. Front corners, edges, everything looks sharp on the front. There's just a couple things I want to work on the back, so join me. Got a couple print lines going all the way across the back. Pretty noticeable. So I want to see if we can do anything with those. And hey, thanks for watching, you guys. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care. And there's also just a tiny, it looks like a little bend in the corner. Right there. So just sorry guys, I need to stay in the viewfinder here. But yeah, it's just flaring up a little bit right there. So what I want to do is see if I can get those print lines to go away. And also see if we can get this corner to look a little bit sharper. So what I'm going to do is just put penny sleeve on top, do a little edge and corner tool action. And I barely press. I'm just trying to get this to go back into the original shape. Looks like it just took a little dent, or somebody might have been careless putting it into a one touch or something at some point. And don't be afraid to use your finger either, guys. I just want to see, I go over it just to see if I can just feel a bump. I think it looks pretty good. It was just a little bit of a flare in the corner. Come on, camera. Got a little fuzz. So before I move on with that, we're just gonna get a little bit of painter's tape over here, and I'm just gonna go around the card too. The iPhone is great for working on cards. I swear, it's you can see almost anything with it. I feel like it just does such a good job of zooming in on little things that you might miss, like these little pieces of fuzz. It's just those little things, but we'll move on with this. I want to just do this corner one more time, and then we're gonna see if we can get those print lines to maybe just subside a little bit. You know what I noticed, you guys? Like, I feel like there's kind of like two schools of these print lines. There's some that are indented, and they are like almost like scratches. They are just inside the card. They dig into the back of it or the front, and there's not a darn thing you can do with them. But then there's other times where I feel like they're just totally like a dried plastic remnant that goes all the way across the card. And you'll hear me say try a couple applications of polish, because if you notice it's getting better, it's typically because it's one of the types of scratch, and it's not scratched into the card, it's riding across the top. Because if you have a totally noticeable scratch, my polish is really good stuff, that's what we're going to use, but it won't fill in a crack and like make it go away. But if you got these pesky little lines running up and down the back, and they're on top of the card, you can usually remove them. So I'm hoping for that, because this would be a dope card to be, you know, in a 10. So we'll find out. And this will be going off to get graded regardless if I can get these little lines out or not. It's just a super nice card. So let me get comfortable here, and hopefully these things are not embedded into it. I'm going to change up my game plan here. I just realized I had my little plate underneath. I use that little plate when I need a little bit of backbone for working on corners, but when it comes to just applying some polish and taking it off, I prefer to work on the card mat. Too early to tell if it's doing anything good. Let me get a couple applications on here and I'll give you guys a look. And I swear that this type of blemish is, even though they look the same almost on every card, they just react different. So anytime you guys see these pesky little lines, whether they're on the front of a card or the back, throw a couple applications of polish at it. If they're scratched into the card or indented, they aren't gonna be going anywhere. But if they're those light variety that just wants to ride on the top of the card, you'll make some progress. I'm just going to repeat the same process here, guys, because in this white area down there, there was a real light one. Check it out. They're working with me a little bit. I can see like across his leg and waist, it looks a little indented on that side, like it's pressed into the card. But the one below it is like gone, and it picks up a little bit on that side. See what I'm saying? It's kind of frustrating. It's like, all right, it went away from this little part, still pressed in over here, and then this top one's kind of going the distance. But I think we only put like 2.5 applications on. Let me just walk you guys through my whole process. Like if I'm just sitting here by myself working on cards, I'll go 6 or 7 times if it looks like it's lightening up a little bit. If I'm removing that dead plastic. But if you get to that point and you guys can still see them hanging in there, just know you did your absolute best. You know, not every single one goes away, but you'll then at least know that the card looks as good as it's ever going to get, and that's just the deal. Not bad. Hang with me, guys. I'm just going to do another round or so, and I'll show you. Definitely worth doing it. They were just too noticeable. They were, you know, if you're a person that likes to work on cards, sometimes like when you see a blemish, it's unfortunate. It's like the only thing you can see. And as soon as I looked at the back of this, I said, oh boy. Great card. Probably such a preventable thing in the production process, but it just happens. And we get stuck with it, and that's why we do this, because I could never understand ever not wanting to improve something. I don't get it. That's one thing that I could never see eye to eye on anybody with, is not taking simple steps to make any process or anything better. So you guys know where I stand on it. Clean up your cards, make them look better. Do it in a safe, you know, way like this, and you'll just have the best looking card you can, especially with the prices of these bad boys. I'm pretty happy with this. It's better than I thought. Can still see them faintly. But the back of the card is shining great. But that's typical, you guys. Sometimes they don't all the way go away. But it's like, I'm telling you, from looking at the back of this card now from like this, I don't see the bright white lines anymore. I can only see them when I catch them in like a certain light. But I hope it's enough to, keep this baby scoring real high, because it is a sweet card. I have high hopes for this guy. I think he'll be, hopefully stays healthy for a long time. Got that corner looking better too. Best we can do. Simple cleanup. Go after those annoying lines. Even if you can't get them all the way off, you can definitely make them look a lot better. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you're having a good Monday night, and I'll talk to you real soon. I'm Kurt with Kurt's Card Care.